Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus giving you another game recap, salary cap. Want to give a big shout out to Gamertag on Xbox, Deadliest Catch. This guy's been providing me some tips on how to build a better salary cap team, and he made one suggestion, and it really panned out. He suggested I actually tank my line, but I like the identifier feature. So one of the cheapest identifiers you can get is this Frank Wycheck card. Also, I was able to go and put my tight ends, Ingram and Gonzalez, and put them at actually the wide receivers. But the card that I wanted to show you is Murray. He is a really good card, and you're going to see it in the gameplay. Also, I stacked up on my defensive line. I put Charles Haley. These two defensive linemen are MUT heroes. I've got basically 93 block shed, and then I just threw in another defensive end with fairly good block shed. So my defensive line is going to be very stacked. It's going to have 90 over block shed. It should be able to go ahead and get penetration and force my opponent to make some bad passes. So this is my opponent's team. He's got a 98 Beckham, a 98 Vic, and then Champ Bailey. So he's got a fast quarterback. I got to make sure I contain, and then obviously these are my top cards, because I didn't go with any kind of 99 overall cards. Most of my cards, the most expensive card I had was that Charles Haley, and he's about 57 cap, I believe, is my cap expenditure. And right here, he throws into coverage, and Deion Sanders, this is an older version of a Deion Sanders, meaning a little bit later in his career, but as you can see right here, I'm able to get the ball down onto the 26 off the first play of the game, and my opponent checks out of it. He is completely out of this game. He actually moves on, and he did not want to play it. So I was actually going to try to take a peek at his roster, but he doesn't want to play. So going to go and jump into his second game. This is my opponent's team. He's got Chuck Barkley, Mike Singletary, and then Chris Long. So he's got some big cards here. And then obviously there's my cards with the Charles Haley is my best card on the defensive line. So always try to start off with my safety blitz 3 defense. Just do a lot of coverage, see what my opponent's using, then I can always jump into a blitz when I want to. And right there, I get some massive block shed and actually tack him for a loss. So second and 11, one of his best cards, basically completely ineffective for him. He can't really do anything with it. So now I go ahead and use a little cloud coverage with my linebackers, and he actually takes a shot up top. And because I've got Floyd playing middle linebacker opposed to Urlacher, because he's such a steal, I'm able to go ahead and get a nice little tip ball. And right here, he's trying to stop me, and I make a little move right there, and Sanders is off with another interception in the second game, but this time he pick sixes, and I'm up by a score, and I'm getting ball in the second half. So back to the cloud coverage. I think I actually went with hard flats right here, and he made an adjustment and actually offsetted my safeties, but I'm still playing in the middle of the field right here, looking to play the deep ball. It's just a bad pass by him, so I didn't really take a look at his cards, but he actually sprays a lot of balls in this game. It's like he's had a few different bad passes right here, so there was another one right there. So he's now in a 3rd and 10 situation, and he doesn't really have any kind of answer for some pressure. He gets a little bit happy, and then he sprays the ball. So right here, I'm actually trying to set up more of kind of an elaborate type of pressure. I have one of my blitzing safeties coming in, and get another hit stick right here. I never get hit stick fumble recoveries, but right there I finally get one. So if things are working for me, Madden, that's Madden love when you can get that type of situation. So this gameplay right here is going to feature this running back, Murray. Now this is probably the worst run play of the entire game. He actually split the gap, his defender split the gap and actually shut it down. But you're going to watch Murray just chewing it up. Now, I've tried a bunch of different running backs. I was a big Fournette runner, but this Murray card is a beast, and I'd have to get a big shout out to deadliest catch on Xbox One. He is a top 10 player in salary cap, and he's provided some of the greatest tips to build a good team. So this is one of my go-to plays right here. This is posts, and I like to run it a different way. I'm actually putting all 5 receivers out, and it's probably one of the, I would have to say by far, probably one of the best plays, design plays, just because of the flexibility with it. So do an 0-1 trap right here, and I just missed the hole. Actually ran right into his defender. I could have took that to the house, but I just missed it. It was the way his defense was playing. An 0-1 trap, you're supposed to run in between, right in between the guards, and his defense was playing a little bit weird, whereas I actually had to take it wide. So decided he's running a lot of coverage. Decided to go ahead and jump into a halfback draw right here just to see if I can get him falling back, spying up his defensive line, and he gets, Murray gets a couple yards right here. So I jump into the pistol ace off, and I go ahead just try to run the ball off to the left-hand side, and he's got his line scrunched, so he's actually trying to defend that inside run. But you can see right here, I actually got really good penetration, so I decided to go ahead and auto-huddle. I'm going to flip the play once again. I want to go run off tackle to the left-hand side because I've got better blocking over there. And then I go ahead and take my wide receiver off to the left, which is tight end, and I'm like, oh, this is over with. I'm actually just put the ball in the end zone because his defender didn't carry. So that's easy. So up easy 14 points right here. Now I start playing around with the coverage a little bit. I wanted to play a little bit more down in the box, but I wanted to make sure I protect the deep third. So I actually put a defender out of the area, and right there he actually hits the flat, a little drag route across the middle, and he picks up a big chunk of change because there's like no defender in the area. So now he actually comes into a trip set, and this is actually levels going the opposite direction. I'm trying to take away that deep corner route, and he finds a dragging route or a crossing route on the back end side, and he actually picks up some pretty good yards. So down to the 18-yard line, 1st and 10. Go with cover 3 hard flats and actually spy up my defensive with my lineman, which was Haley. Then I go ahead and send him, and he actually smartly gets rid of the ball right there. So back to the safety blitz 3 blitz, and actually I go ahead and put my safeties in deep blues. I got a cover 2 shell and actually blitz both my linebackers, so someone's going to eventually get in. He actually hits a crossing route right there, and my corner's able to clean it up. Get him in a 3rd and 7 type of situation. He's going with a wide formation right here, and actually right here I actually QB contain all my guys up because he keeps rolling out either to the right or left. He's not staying in the pocket, and he's actually trying to make a play off the right hand side. But look at the block sheds off the offensive line right there. It's just because my defensive line, I threw a lot of cap in my defensive line for this series, and those guys just got really good block shed. They'll eat up the run for me. They'll get good block shed, even if I'm actually just doing some massive coverage. So back to the 0-1 trap right here. I actually picked up the block correctly. Nice little spin move. Out juke his defenders, and I'm off to the races. So 93 speed. Murray gets all the way down to the 12-yard line, and I get the biggest run with him so far. So almost close to house right here. I want to go ahead and spy up. I think I jumped right into an inside zone, and he's bringing a defender down into the line. He probably should take out a gap, but right here you can see I'm able to go ahead and get in the inside and actually pick up another 3 yards. So I'm trying to stay committed to the run with this team because I know that eventually he's going to break one like that, almost get into the end zone right there. So 1 yard line, first and 10 type of situation. Once again, going to go ahead and stay with the run, and Murray's able to go ahead and pound it in and fall forward. And that's the animation. What's cool about this Murray card is that his animation, he just falls forward for additional yards. He gets really good catch animation. So on defense, up 21-3 with about 50 seconds left. I jump into cover 6. I want to try to take away some of those corner routes. And a lot of times what happens is when you do play against opponents, some of the play style that you use, it carries over to the next games, and you feel like you have to compensate and try to take away those corner routes. But this guy was really hitting flats, and he was actually hitting a lot of crossing routes. So that's probably should have been the way I played the defense. But I was playing it to try to protect the corners too. Let's see if he takes a shot up top. He does take another shot up top, and right there my defenders are in the area, and I'm actually got Floyd in the area too. The 90 speed, the big 6'6" body, man, that guy is a stud. He's only 42 cap. You can play him at middle linebacker or wherever you use her. So he actually couldn't do anything with it with that particular situation. So we're going to go into the second half, and right here. I'm getting the ball, so right now I'm in the driver's seat. It's up 21 points. If I get a field goal, I'm going to be up 21 points in the second half. If I get a touchdown, the game's pretty much toast. So back to the 0-1 trap. I just couldn't get that to work, but this is one of my favorite plays right here. Is post. Is streak up the linebacker and actually hit the corner route right here. And Clay makes a good play, actually gets the ball right there. Now take a look at this. 2 for 2. I passed twice, and I'm already into the third quarter of the game. This is just not usual for me. I pass a lot. I've got a lot of passing, but I was actually very committed to the run. And just because this guy was struggling with my defense, I'm up 21-0. I only passed twice. Just an unbelievable game for me as far as the running game was concerned, and just establishing this offense. So back out here, his defender actually gets a nice little block shot off my tight end. I'm probably going to pick a little bit more yards with it. Back to post, a streak up Y check, because that's the read that I can hit over to the side. I've got a high-low read off to the left-hand side. And as you can see, Y check is wide open, and this guy is just catching dots for me left and right. He's very clutch catcher. So if you're looking for a player that's fairly inexpensive, I think he's like 34, 35 cap. He's got identifier feature, and you can help yourself by tanking your offensive line is to get that identifier feature. So back to the inside zone right here. His defenders just split the Red Seas and be able to go and pick up an easy first down. So back to post is one of my base plays. To go ahead and jump into levels is my hot audible. Right here I'm going to go and streak up Clay. I've got a dragging cross. Nobody goes out to the flat route right there with Murray, and Murray's off to the races and just bullies himself into the end zone. So just an autopilot, just complete autopilot, and a lot of it has to do with just constructing a really good team. And that's the key with salary cap, is just having players that are going to match your scheme and actually give yourself a chance. So now this is what happens with this guy. This guy just becomes into panic mode, and he just starts running with his quarterback. So right here I go with the contain feature. I just figured, okay, so if he can't get outside of the tackles, but he actually splits the gap right here, and I got a contain guy that actually comes down and kind of shuts this run down for a 10-yard gain or so. So second and 2 type of situation, spy up one of my defensive ends right here. Now I send the dogs after him, and actually passes right across the middle, and I'm able to go ahead and tackle him to make him pop out the ball. Once again, I need to spy up my guys. And he's really not making any kind of fast reads. He's waiting for plays to develop. I send the dogs after him. He gets rid of the ball right there. And another almost interception, but the ball's knocked out. And basically 4th and 2 right here. This is pretty much the game, because I don't think he's going to have much of a chance. So I go to crossfire out of the dollar. I send blitzers on both sides, and right now my defensive back actually gets on the back inside, and that's it. So go and give a big shout out to Gamertag on Xbox, Deadliest Catch. The guy has actually provided me some great tips, so you go ahead and check him out if you're on Xbox. Once again, to my subscribers, thanks for your support, guys. Until next time.